Belgium is a shithole. I was in Brussels. It's just my opinion. Don't get offended if you're from there. There's 11 million residents of this beautiful country. I'm sure there's some parts to it that are decent. The taxes are high, as are the increasing amounts of immigrants, most of whom have zero respect for Belgium and its legislation, its culture, its rich history. They don't care about that. Brussels was dirty. It reminded me of an apocalyptic wasteland. Okay, I'm over dramatizing a little bit. My name is Mike Garavi. Today we're talking about the red light district in Brussels. So this is a fucked up story time video. Did you like my really controversial intro? Let's get into it. Okay, so to some this may serve as a warning video, to others it may be entertainment only, but there is an educational aspect to this, I hope. There's a few areas in the world that red light districts are popular, and these cities are known for them. The tourism industry is booming all around the world, and certain areas, albeit a bit more controversial than others, are attractive to the average tourist who has some cash to spend. I got stuck in Brussels. I didn't want to be there. I was flying in from America. I had a connection to Poland through Brussels. I was traveling through a third-party agent. Unfortunately, as soon as I got to the gate, my ticket was there. Everything seemed like it was paid for. There's an error. Yeah, the plane leaves in like 10 minutes. Sir, can you figure out what the error is? Because from our end, you do not have a ticket. So I called up the third-party agent. I'm like, hey, I don't have a ticket. Like, I have it in my hand, but it's not functional. What's up? They apologized. They sent me $300 for my next journey. They said, don't worry, we got this. We're going to figure it out. You're going to get first-class seats next flight out of here. And the flight was in 12 hours, so it was already going to be a new day when I'm flying into Poland. I had 9 hours just to kind of frolic around the tiny airport. Yeah, not the best fun. I was going to be flying into Poland on a new day. I had the rest of the day to myself in Belgium, and I decided, unlike many other times where I did wait at the airport, I actually want to figure out what's to be done in the city outside of the airport. So I managed to talk with a couple other people in line because we were trying to figure out what's going on with their tickets. At the same time as the third-party agent was trying to find the next best flight, I texted a friend. She used to date somebody from Brussels, so she's been there a couple times. I asked, hey, what's really cool to do in Brussels? I know Belgium's famous for its waffles. Yeah, she said it's pretty crap. So I did the next best thing. I bought a taxi cab and I went straight to the middle of the city. I'm looking what can be done. The red light district. Yeah, sir. Can you take me to the red light district? Let's check it out. But first, let's go to the bank. Great. I like how I'm super upfront. And of course the taxi cab driver, as you shall in such situations, doesn't really speak the best of English. I was eyeing him. I'm always a little bit paranoid when it comes to taxi cab drivers. Are they trying to screw me out of that extra dollar? Never mind the 500 euros I was going to blow that night, but the $1 that the taxi cab driver will earn extra, that's going to piss me off. And he managed to frustrate the living hell out of me, so I evacuated the taxi cab when I got to the bank. I didn't want him to drive me to the red light district. Fuck that. I was super close to it. I can walk on my own 2 feet. I saw a bank before, and I thought he would turn onto this bank, and I also saw it on Google Maps, but no, he looked at it, and he decides to keep driving, and he takes me to another bank, which is 2 blocks that way, and then another 2 blocks that way. I was looking out, I was just shocked. I was stunned for like a minute. I was thinking, why? You know what? I'm not even going to argue with you. I'm not even going to ride any further. Just leave me right here. I'm going to take my stuff. And I put on a nice fake smile. I was like, thank you so much, sir. Well, inside I was thinking, fuck you, asshole. I take all my things. He asked me if I want to continue riding. I say, fuck no. And I go to the bank. I withdraw some euros. Here we go. I go into the red light district with my luggages. Great. I do not look like a tourist at all. Now, one of the first things you notice, depending on which streets you go, there's the better streets with the McLaren store on it, and then there's the worst streets, and then there's the ghetto streets. I wasn't going into the ghetto streets because, you know, there was some sketchy looking people over there. Other than the people wandering, the weird lurkers, the creepers, you see people pissing in the middle of the street. I'm not kidding you. People are literally pissing in the middle of the street. You have public urinals like this. These are essentially fountains which just rain in the middle of the street. People are whipping their dicks out. Some, as you shall, in such a district where on one side of the street there's all these windows where you go window shopping for some girls, and on the other you have urinals. There's some guys with their dicks out and they're just masturbating. That is a really pleasant sight to see. What the fuck, Brussels? Prostitution is legal in Belgium. However, there are some things attached to that. You cannot pimp. You must follow a set of rules and codexes, and these rules change from time to time, and it also varies from which area you're in, which city, which part of the city. Certain councils have voted to try and ban prostitution, but to no avail. Usually there was some restrictions placed at the end, though, just to satisfy both parties. So it's still legal, but, you know, you gotta go through a couple hoops to get into it. Anyways, I'm on the street, and I realized that most of the weird, creepy guys are the immigrants. Look, guys, I'm a no bullshit channel. There's certain countries in Europe where there was a lot of illegal immigrants coming in from Syria, from Tunisia, from Morocco, from Libya, from Jordan, from Egypt. There was a lot of this coming in. Now, the illegal immigrants, that's what we're discussing here. There was a lot of very dangerous individuals, gang members. When you have groups of people coming in with no money, no respect for the culture, the laws, of course they're going to get involved with illegal matters. So anyways, there's some dangerous people in Brussels, and I got that first-hand information from one of the girls who worked in the red light district. I actually asked her, what is your daily life like? Because I'm always curious about this. I've interviewed a lot of prostitutes. I mean, hey, that's what my channel is all about, is the controversy. I've interviewed anybody from a prostitute to a drug lord to somebody who runs darknet markets to the police officers and ex-cops on the other side, and it is a very interesting spectrum. We all come from different angles of the world, but we're only a couple steps away from each other, meaning a couple decisions can really change the course of your life for the next 5 years. There was this one girl, she was in there for only 2 or 3 months, and you could see it through her energy, the way she spoke, the confidence. It wasn't as much as the other girls. She also looked very young. So usually you don't want to believe, oh yeah, the prostitute's 21 years old or 18, but for this case, I actually did believe that she was a very young girl. She did tell me she was still studying. She was around my age. Currently, I'm 20, turning 21, and she's been only working 2 or 3 months, and she says that a lot of violence has happened. Now, this was one of the better shops. No matter where you go, there will always be some risk and dangers. Now, the great part is that the police is 100% on board. Since prostitution is legal, they will definitely try and secure any criminals that are trying to rob these establishments. A lot of money is coming through, but also any violence, it's a no tolerance policy. See you goodbye. Those guys are thrown into jails. So the escort tells me that last week there was a robbery. The police got him. Everything was fine. There was no cash taken, but it was at gunpoint. So of course the girls were scared. She also did say that she was strangled at one point, and another girl had to come in and, you know, kind of break it up. And the guy also was arrested and taken away. Now police respond really quickly, and that was one of the better establishments. But if you go to the worst establishments, I mean, there is a very large risk factor there. Some of these creepers on the streets, the Moroccans, the Tunisians, the Syrians, whoever they are, you have enough desperation in a man, you have him sex deprived, and he will, under certain circumstances, if he's crazy, he's mentally ill, obviously there's something wrong with this individual. A normal human being, no matter how many years he hasn't been with a sexual partner, it doesn't matter. He's not going to go raping people, he's not going to go try and punching people, but there are some aggressive types. And you know, it's very sad to see that this just can't go on in a normal fashion. Of course, since it is legal though, you must understand that from the Americans' perspective, the police is helping these girls out. So that is the good part. Hopefully the situation will look better in the future. My recommendation for anybody wanting to visit the Brussels red light district is find a good street, find a good shop, and find a good girl. I find it personally rather weird that you would just stare outside the windows, or some of these guys would come in and they'd talk with the girls, but they wouldn't want to pay for a service. I walked one way, I walked back another, and I figured out which store was the best. As soon as I got in there, within 2 minutes, I had everything secure. There wasn't any... Fuck that. You just go in, you fucking, that's it. I think it was 100 euros per hour or something like that, or maybe 50, I can't remember. Anyways, it was pretty fucking cheap compared to some of the other high-end escort hookers out there. You know, if you're used to paying 500 or 1,000 per hour, like whatever, hey, fuck it. You know, we'll see how far we can push the limits. So, of course, one girl isn't enough. As soon as the offer was with a second girl, threesome, I've never had a threesome before. I've never really entertained the thought. I've had some wild sex with prostitutes, without prostitutes, you know, normal pickup and whatever. I like sex. I like exploring different avenues. My mind is a little fucked up. You know, I ran a porn site when I was 16, 17 years old. I first discovered pornography at 9 years old. Thankfully, I understand that every single action has long-term consequences. I love BDSM. I love sadism, but only with a girl's permission. It's no fun if the girl's not enjoying herself. If she is, she's gonna give a lot to make sure you are enjoying your night. Now, another way, since we're on AVI, it is a drug channel, another way to enjoy yourself further is, well, tramadol, because you just don't come. You can fuck for a very long time. You mix that with some stimulants and Viagra, you are good to go for a couple hours. Of course, I was coming back from America, but before then, there was Mexico, where tramadol, modafinil, Viagra, all of this stuff was legal. You were able to get it in a pharmacy. Here you go. All of those help with your sexual stamina, your energy, your ejaculation time. So it was a fun hour at that very moment. But you must remember there are long-term consequences to all of these actions. You enjoy your pleasure right then and there, but it costs your time. You are risking yourself. Of course, always wear protection, because if you don't, that's fucking stupid. But if you're looking for a long-term relationship after such things, it's best to be honest and upfront. You know, to my sexual partners afterwards, I tell them, hey, you know, there's been more than a couple of partners, that's for sure. I do drugs, I've been with prostitutes, I've done this, etc., so they know what they're getting themselves into. And also, it's a waste of your time if later you get into a relationship and then they figure out, it's like, what the fuck, this wasn't worth it because they thought you were someone else. No, fuck that. Just be upfront about it all on the first day. Just overwhelm them, and if they are crazy enough or they're just chill enough, like my girlfriend, they'll be understanding of the whole situation. You know, she doesn't look positively upon that, but she knows it's not something I can really change. If I could go back in time, maybe I would slow down a little bit. I realized this day, because later I had another threesome, and then I still wanted, and I had 3 sexual sessions with 6 partners within a 24-hour period, and I still wanted more. I was like, fucking horniness. I realized that, well, you know what? Why push your limits even further? Everybody has their fantasies, whether it's a threesome or orgies or having 50 partners or having a long-term partner but having sex 3 times every single day for the next 10 years, birthday blowjobs, whatever it is, you have to stay reasonable. Some people may find being with prostitutes is absolutely disgusting, but if you are a professional about this, it's actually much better than being a sugar daddy or getting into a relationship with some gold digger. Or if you don't have any money, if you are just a normal guy but you have good game. You know, I sort of did get lucky with my partner currently. She is absolutely amazing. She's a sweetheart. I try to love as much as possible, because I realize if you're closed off, if you're trying to be like, you're gonna scare off a lot of people. Like, that is attractive at first, but then you gotta tone it fuck down, right? There's a lot of people complaining, oh, I can't have a long-term relationship, and that's usually because of communication issues. You can't be honest, you can't be upfront about your own issues, your history, your past, the fact that you get jealous sometimes. Okay, cool, whatever. Now, maybe talking too much in certain situations, it all depends on how you're going to frame it, right? But if you maintain good frame, communication really does help solve a lot of issues. And if that partner is not for you, you can find plenty of others. It's the law of abundance, correct? Now, the more partners you have, I'm not recommending it because for some people it just won't work. You'll feel guilt, you'll feel upset that you didn't save yourself for the one, I don't know, whatever bullshit. Everybody's got their path, right? Some people only want to be with one person, some people want 2, 3, 4. The more individuals you actually seriously date though, the more experience you gain from it, and hopefully you're going to be a better boyfriend or girlfriend for your future partner. Some people don't want partners though, and prostitutes are fantastic for that. I really frown down upon those people that cheat on their spouses or boyfriends, girlfriends. They go to escorts or they cheat just with any random person. Fuck that. If you want to have sex with multiple people, that's what open relationships are for. Again, communication. But at this point in time, I wasn't with anybody. I wasn't even on Tinder at the moment. I was stuck in Brussels, so I made the best of the situation. After a nice long travel, it was a way to relax. I could tell that the girl was inexperienced by the fact that I had a small little request, right? I was like, well, I've never tried this, but can you guys kiss each other? And she was fucking horrified at first. She was like, oh my God, I've never done that. I was like, okay, hey, if you don't want to, it's okay, cool, I get it. But they were up for it. The other girl was like, no, don't worry, calm down. And I think they enjoyed it at the end. That's the most important thing. You gotta make sure, you gotta confirm with them. Communication, even in such a business transaction. That place was lovely. I exited. I decided to go on the search again. I did find another place. You just come in, you pick out the girl that you'd like. Obviously, choose the hot ones. Hello. If you're paying for sex, don't go with the fucking ugly ones. I don't get it. Some guys are just really fucking horny, though. You gotta have limits, guys. Standards. Set them high. Especially if you're paying for it. Especially. So there's not that many beautiful women, but the younger ones, hey, why not? Fuck it. If you get the opportunity and you are available, you're able to do it, go for it. There's certain etiquette about how you should go into this situation. If you display proper etiquette, they will treat you a million times better. Trust me, it works. They respect that. They will make your dollar go a lot further. And at the end of the day, they are humans as well. They're just like you, so what the fuck? Treat them how you'd want to be treated yourself. After 2 of those sessions in Brussels, I hopped on the plane, I flew to Poland, and I said, well, that wasn't enough, let's try and push the limits. And after 6, that's when I started feeling guilt, and I was like, you know what, maybe, yeah, that was a little too much. I stopped feeling the pleasure. The last 2, that just wasn't fun, and I do regret that, actually. But, hey, you have to make some mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes this year. I'm not gonna say it was a horrible fucking time, but I'm not gonna say I enjoyed myself. If I could, I would go back, and with the knowledge that I gained from it, that's the most important thing. Through your mistakes, you're able to learn quite a bit. Thankfully, I was able to find somebody who is accepting, extremely accepting. I'm extremely loving. That helped increase those odds as well. But in some areas of the world, that's difficult to find. You have a lot of situations right now where people are going to try and take advantage of one another. They don't know how to maintain a relationship. They're going to cheat on you. All I can say is this: you have one life. Enjoy yourself. If you go overboard with certain things, you will regret it. If you don't protect yourself, you will regret it. Thankfully, I don't have fucking HIV or herpes or any of that weird shit. You look down there, it's like, oh my God. Thankfully, no early pregnancies. Jesus Christ, there were some girls at my school that got 16 years old and pregnant. No, fuck that. I don't want this shit. Fuck. I'm 20 years old, but I feel like I'd be 40 or 50. And I actually really enjoy settling down. Oh, I don't really go clubbing anymore. Prostitutes, or any of that. I calm down on my drugs. But once you go through enough of these, whether it's psychedelic trips or trips to red light districts or whatever it be, you calm yourself down, you stop giving a fuck, you understand you can't change the past, you learn from the past, you hopefully you're going to make the future better, but enjoy this current moment as it is. I feel for the girls that are mistreated and abused, and I respect that they're doing their job. In Netherlands, they actually have a statute that's paying homage, paying respect towards these sexual workers. If you are a tourist or somebody who lives there and you partake in this activity, don't be a fucking creeper. That's all I can ask of you. Pick out the decent shops and seriously, don't be like these guys. This is a weird fucking shop, probably ugly gal, you can't really see. They're just gonna waste people's time. So don't be like that. Do your business, have fun, and if you can, enjoy the best of your life. My name is Mike or Avi. Let me know what you thought about this story. They also lost my baggage for the third time in a span of a couple of months. They lost my baggage. Of course, I was waiting 1 to 2 days, which isn't so bad, but if you have important stuff in there, or it's gifts or whatever, which, for Christmas, and it was the 3rd time and the 3rd flight, gosh. But it's always an adventure. I was saving this story for a very long time, but I have plenty more stories to share. So if you're interested in this content, hit that subscribe button, turn the notifications on, like the video, write down your opinions down below, and we shall see you guys for some more story times, darknet market news, and just general discussion. My live streaming will be enabled starting November 13th again, so that's going to be nice, and see you guys later.